It's gonna tell them the best thing. They really don't know who to trust. So that fear disallow them to love. They ain't gonna make the connect. They're gonna make a disconnect, and the disconnect gonna go on further and further because the stand-up guys is gonna sit back, kind of at the will of the new real is fake. Ain't no war. We can't go to war, but it's 90% fake, so to speak. They ain't gonna teach you how to be the best you that you can be. And that's why I appreciate God for allowing me to come out of that dungeon and still find myself fellowshipping with upstanding men that want to see the communities and the development of their communities be better as the day goes.
My name Kenry Wilkerson. Insane. Same. I was originally one of the first Crips in the city of Dallas. And I was one of them kids that they say, that boy been here before. So that's just to say that I was a man child. I was a child that took on outdoor responsibilities at an early age. But I went to prison for murder, 2 attempted murders, and aggravated assault. I took on a fight that wasn't even my fight. I went and killed somebody in the name of responding to my call of duty, so to speak. It's kind of like when we kill, we think we doing an honorable thing because we think we represent what we claim to represent to the fullest. You know, at the age of 15, 16, 17 years old, you don't have a concern about what your actions is doing or who they gonna affect. Your mind don't even process information like that. We killed kind of like as a form of recreation. And I'll say this here, most of the crimes, I say this, the crimes I got convicted for don't nearly match the crimes that I committed. So, but it's crazy when you allow yourself to become because the concept of this is how murder changed me, right? And I say that we kill as a way of just kind of like identifying who we was. This was our culture at that time. So a lot of the murders that we committed, because we wasn't like these kids now, a lot of the stuff that we did, we didn't talk about it. So a lot of the times, the ones that we got caught for didn't even match the ones that we truly was guilty for. But committing that murder gave us a sense of fulfillment because in our young minds, we thought we was doing the right thing. We thought we was doing an honorable thing because it's kind of like we was protecting ours. Even though as you start to evolve and grow up from it's like when I was a child, I thought, spoken, understood as a child. But when you started growing up, you understand that the concept of ours didn't even exist. It was an illusion. Because like who was the judge or the district attorney say, when you doing that time or when you start that process of suffering, the only people that stay is mama. Yeah, that's the only ones that's there. That's true. But we killed as a way of feeling important. We killed as a way of identifying who we was. And our twisted mind, that meant something. That was something that we hung our hat on, and it was something that we cashed in on over the years. Or when you don't know no better, that's what it is. It wasn't until years later that I started to understanding that I done dedicated my whole, because I ended up getting 20 years. I pled guilty to murder and had a bunch of stuff dropped. But over the years, I started to understanding that everything, because I wanted to go to prison. Going to prison was a part of my ambitions in life. I didn't want to graduate high school. I didn't want to get no job. Because in my mind, what I wanted to be, I had to go to prison in order to fulfill it. But it was in the process of trying to fulfill this journey that I realized I've been played. I've been tricked. This shit ain't shit. It ain't no benefits to this shit. This shit ain't nothing but a life full of consequences. no benefits. So once I realized that, I started to changing on the inside, because the worst thing you can have a kid to do is have the pressure on them of trying to live up to the expectation of a reputation. See, I had a reputation that went with my name, that played games on myself. Every time somebody called me and reiterated that false ideology to me, it made me feel obligated to act in a certain way because my name was insane. So in my spirit, I felt like I had to do shit that represented an insane way of doing it. So over the years, once I started to evolving, I knew the first thing I had to do was learn how to value something else, because everything that I valued and wanted to be, I done accomplished it, and it wasn't nothing but consequences. So I say, the first thing I got to do is change me. So I changed my name from insane to sane. And I had to recreate myself and figure out what I want to do in life, who I'm going to be in life, how I'm going to even start the process, because I never wanted to do nothing else. All I wanted to do was break the law and do wrong. I felt good doing that. So I had to figure out who I was going to be, how I was going to be it. So I started working on myself, and I put forth the effort to understanding how I became to be the person that I thought I wanted to be. And from that understanding, I was able to put together a plan to become the person that I knew I had to grow to be. And so, I'm not fully developed right now. I'm still developing, in the process of blooming. Coming up here speaking is part of my developmental process, because I'm a real private person. I move in silence. I come up under the ideology of real niggas move in silence, sometimes violence, but only when necessary. So to come out here and speak in front of a lot of people and share my embarrassments with y'all, it's a seed that had to take some root and produce life. And that's what I'm kind of exemplifying right now. But as I've been sitting around here listening to the district attorney, listening to the judge, listening to everybody, I'm kind of like in a maze, because we never even have the desire to care what murder looked like from the other side, because we just perpetuate the act and we never think about it really. It's kind of like we just block it out. So for me to come here and see the pain that our actions cause to the mothers, it's a reality check for us. It's a reality check for me, because we carried out these acts so carelessly without caring, no concern for nobody other than ourselves. And for that type of thinking and that type of behavior, I'd like to apologize to the people of the people who I've hurt, intentionally and unintentionally. I'd like to apologize to the mothers in here that's been tortured from dudes that think and feel the way that I did. And this is kind of like my journey of mending my wrongs and using my pain to try to assist in this plight of saving a nation of endangered species. Because that's in fact what we are, a nation of endangered species. But the danger comes from ourselves. If we don't have to worry about the external dangers, majority of the time it's the internal dangers. It's us. But when I look at it and I try to assess what the problem is, I narrow it down to a few things, because I'm a father of 7 kids now. So I can take my mistakes and my bad decisions and use it to kind of guide me in directing and assisting and molding my kids. And the number one thing that allowed me to be the person that I was my value system. That's where it started, because I wouldn't have did any of that if I didn't value doing it. And in my mind, I valued it because it was something that I had to do. It was something that just went with the lifestyle that I had to pledge my allegiance to. It was something that was valued in that walk of life. So I valued that because it gave me what the attention keep people nowadays from the social media. The same stimulation that they get from posting something and getting likes and what the robot talk. The same stimulation that people get from that is the same stimulation we acquire from carrying out the acts, because we received a sense of recognition. So the first thing we have to do is work on making sure that when kids are developing, that they start to develop in the right types of value system. Now, how we do that, that's that's a dilemma in itself. But I think the value system of the kid controls, directs, shapes, and molds the footsteps of the child. Because if I had valued different things, I would have made a lot of different decisions, a lot of different choices. So yeah, the number one problem, or the number one thing we should attack with these kids is their value system.